That was a pretty simple signal, I think. Think like that, and we'll humble you, yeah? Exalt yourself and you'll be humbled. Humble yourself and you'll be exalted. So you always end up in the same place anyway. So it's pointless to have an ego. So I learnt from that. I don't want to be thinking like that again. I won't allow myself to think like that again. But to think that lots of us might have a bit of Jesus in us. And if you saw my last video, Heaven is Coming to Earth, we as people could bring about this, maybe. And as I'm watching YouTube videos, and it's just a lot of bad news, and I like to keep an eye on things, but it does get you down. It's not doing that any good then, is it? So, it might be stopping us from bringing heaven to earth. We keep listening to all the bad news. So maybe now what we should do is, see his subscriptions and just read the title. 58 dead, blah, 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 blah. Right, 89 dead in here, da 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 da. And, just get a gist of it from the titles, and then only actually watch videos which are positive, like this one. Right? So that we can be more happy during the day, spread more happiness to other people, and yeah. I'm happy being natural. I'm about to smoke a fag though, which is naughty. Naughty, naughty, Stephen. Maybe I'll put some rabbit poo in it. No, I don't eat poo. I never will. Poo is waste. They say never. There's some things I ain't gonna do. And one of them is actually be gay. Do any of that. The Romans like that, didn't they? I don't know, maybe they did. Maybe some people like being gay, I don't know why. How did I get that? Worrying. So, I said I was going to be a bit personal. So I said to a friend of mine, because it was starting to bother me. Oh, and I'm not sure, that dream, I can't remember when I had that dream. I don't know if it totally stopped those thoughts or not. Anyway, I said to my friend, what stopped it? I said to my friend, I told someone. My friend called Tim Gardner. And he was a bit silly. But he'd got quite into the Bible and stuff, so I spoke to him and I said to him, I worry that I'm Jesus. And he looked at me and saw that I wasn't just mucking about. Sorry if the wind is making too much noise. And I bet that one is. And he said, to worry is a sin. And block the wind with that. And that's true. Well, yeah, it's true. It's negative anyway. So he answered me in a way that was a good answer, and it kind of made me lighten up a bit. I was still having some weird feelings. Very weird. I think it was about 1997. So this is after Africa. Well, that's right, I'll tell you. I don't know if I've told this before, maybe I've touched on it. I got back from Well, while I was in Africa, I had an adventure. All right, and there's some people there, and and on my last day in Africa, it's okay to blog these days and do selfies. My last few days in Africa, I looked up out of a roof window and saw Orion, and it gave me this sort of future feeling, which I know hasn't happened yet, and I've kind of been waiting for it to happen because I can feel that it's actually in the current house I'm living in now. Now I might live in that house for another 10 years, but anyway, I had this feeling, and it was like I could picture the house and cogs, and there was something, advanced about it. Anyway, maybe it's not the house I live in now. See the amount of concentration. It was like a special feeling. I'd had a few special feelings before. I'd had deja vus. I'd had sort of spacious feelings where things just felt a bit spacious. I haven't got a clue what they mean, and I haven't had them for a long time. My friend of mine, she said she had them as well. Spacious, that's what we called it. So I went off to Africa, and I had this feeling. And I got back from Africa, saw my friend who had also had spacious feelings, and then we were going on the bus to Stratford, and then I had it again. I've a feeling I've done a video of this before, so I'll be quick. And it was like... it's like it had a colour. Or not yet. This first one didn't really have a colour. Still, it was a bit spacious. And I said to my friend, I've just had it again, I've just had it now. Just looking out the bus. And then she looked at me weird. Because she wasn't having it. Then I knew she was thinking I was mad. Made me wonder. Oh, yeah. So that was in January. I'd got back from Africa in December. And then as I went through that year, I was getting them again. And I think it was in the spring. I looked up into a blue sky, and I felt like I saw the abyss. I was peering over into the abyss. And my friend, who I was getting more and more attached to, was getting less and less attached to me. And she wanted me away, I suppose. And then in the summer, I had one with a red truck, like a red pickup truck, driving maybe in Norway or in America. And so the colour associated was red. And out of all of them, that was the one I liked least so far. There was something sinister about it. I probably had a green one. And then I can remember in October, I had a black one. I was speaking to one of my best friends, Peter, his mate, and his brother, Andrew. And I had a black one. And by this time I was getting a bit frightened, wondering what's wrong with me. And what it is, it's like an extra sensory perception. It's outside of the normal things we perceive. But it was there. And I could dwell in it, or I could just acknowledge it, sense it, and move on. I'd learnt by then that dwelling wasn't good. Like that, the abyss one I saw, didn't want to dwell on that at all. Did not want to so I didn't want to dwell on any, but acknowledged them. And then it was November the 30th, 1998. So I remember the exact day. I was walking out, I was looking at the stars, and I just thought, if there was something happened now and all the stars just suddenly went shoo, shoo, like the Earth was going to tumble out of its orbit. That's the feeling I had. So I'd been negative and paranoid, I'd say, which isn't good. But this is the learning process. It's how you learn, isn't it? You have to do. And then that night, I was lying in bed. I felt like I had a bit of a panic attack coming. For what reason, I don't know. So I turned on the light, and then I got it. The white one. The white one was the scariest of all. And by far the most powerful. Absolutely all-encompassing. I couldn't think of anything else. It was BOOM! That's it. Maybe that's what made me turn the light on, was feeling like I was being judged, or I was open. And I think maybe I had a panic attack and then turned the light on. And then bang! The white one hit. And I had to go downstairs, and I just had to get a book from off the shelf and start reading it, just to sort of get my mind off it, otherwise I was going to go mental. I was going to book myself into a mental hospital. I was nearly going to go to my parents and say, I'm completely mental, book me into a hospital. I did fear that. I wouldn't have liked it. God, thank God I didn't. And the next day I focused on nothing but the real, the physical. I felt like that was a warning to focus on what's real. And I cleaned out the garage attic, which hadn't been done for years, cobwebs. I got right into the corners, everything. Spick and span that place was afterwards. So, I put my head to the ground and I got on with life for a bit. I went to Norway, into the Norwegian army. And, was it 98? No. 98. If it happened then, next year was 99 in Norway. No. That must have been November the 30th, 1997. Then I went to Norway. So November 30th, 1998, my Norwegian granddad's birthday. I was in Norway. Still a few months away from getting into the army. So, yeah, going to Norway, stopped smoking hash, went in the army, straightened myself out, got some discipline. It was cool, I was happy. And then finished the army, September 2001, laying in bed. Girlfriend goes, "Look what's on the telly!" Aeroplane crashing into the World Trade Center. Well, that probably started things off again. Because at that point, it seemed like the world was all fine. Nothing wrong, really. Well, it's gone to shit since then, hasn't it, eh? So, here I am. not ignoring those feelings anymore. It's the first time I've actually described them as succinctly as I have, whether you think I have or not. That's what happened. And now, a few times in my life I've had a warning sign, and it's red. You get a sensory perception, just a flash of red, and also with that, like a darkness, like an evil. So, and I would urge anyone who gets that to be wary of it. Don't forget about it, because it might not happen for a year, but it will be associated with someone. Well, someone or something. Sometimes you can't avoid it. Sometimes you have to go through it. Maybe you always do. Maybe it's just a warning that you're going to have to go through it. But remember, it's a sin to worry. So it's good to be positive. A bit cold. Those people with the dogs probably thought I was a bloody weirdo. Am I? Am I a weirdo?
He's coming. Awake, awake,
I'm really
sleep.
enjoying living as
Awake,
naturally as I
awake,
can.
sleep. He's coming.
Loving the dreadlocks. And is my ball spot getting moist?
He's coming. He's alive.
Furry.
Jesus of Nazareth,
It's
the
going
son
back.
of David, the slain lamb.
So
He
heaven
was
is
born
coming.
to be a king. He's alive. The Jewish man. He's alive. He's alive.
Sing a new song.
Prepare
I'll
the
put that on
way.
the end of this. That is a spot on the lens.
People get ready.
Clean that.
People get ready. Surely he is not a man that he would
I think
lie.
I'll do.
He said he would come
meditate
again,
now.
and he will come again.
Just press that button. So I'm just going to film the sky, and then
People get ready.
I'm going to put that song on the end of this.
People get ready.
So I'll say goodbye now. Goodbye.
People get ready. Some said a carpenter. Some said a teacher. They said a prophet. They said he's a fraud. He's God. But he's fully a man. And he was born to be a king.
Yeah, when I was... Oh, wait.
No, he was silent. Like a lamb to the slaughter, he was
when I was
silent.
3,
In
first
his
daydream I
patience,
had, I saw
he
a pistol
endured.
like that cloud.
But I know the end of the
When I was
story.
3. Why did I have a gun in
I'm
my
only
mind
at the
then?
beginning of the
What did I
beginning.
know? It was going to happen.
He's coming. He's alive. He's alive. Look upon the one you've pierced. Look upon the one
Shoot,
you've
that's
pierced.
amazing.
Who is this king